Hey there, everybody. It's Carlo. Here with without my iPad for the moment. Tristan's downstairs taking some files off. He was gonna sculpt something, and did you get it already?
Yeah,
Oh, well,
actually, it took a lot faster, or a lot quicker than I thought.
we'll hop on the stream when you get a chance. All right, never mind. I got my iPad again. I got let's see, let's center this thing up. So this week, uh, I guess I won't take my con. This is the clown guy from Legion's Con last year. I don't got good lighting on that. It's not set up for this kind of camera. Anyway, that was a weird start to the stream. Uh, Thanks for coming. So today, me and Tristan are going to um, sculpt on our Legions Con 2025 projects. A lot of times we team up for these projects, and sometimes we just do our own things. We like to surprise people at Legion's Con. Not saying that we're not going to have any surprises, but our main big project we usually keep under wraps. Um, this year we're just going to let it all out in the open. So, um, but first, I like to start the stream by showing what we worked on last week. So, um, okay, that's not good. Uh, where are we at here? Hold on 1 second. One second. Gotta find my little guy. You should load up here. Last week or like 2 or 3 weeks ago, we did Rumpelstiltskin, and after the streams go on, I go back in and kind of figure out what I want it to look like. So we started, and it got pretty far with the face sculpt here. Next thing that I like to do is I like to color it. So I came in here with just the regular standard brush and ZBrush and drew like little veins. You can see little veins in his nose. Our prints don't print up in color. We could go to like this color printer service and get these printed up. That's something that I'm debating on whether or not we want to invest in. Just for some of my zebra sculpts, it's good enough to me to paint it on my own. In real life, that's half the fun is actually painting them. But this is where I got to after the stream. So on the stream, I think I had the hat and the face. The beard was a little shorter. And the cool thing about these things is all these parts are separate. So like I see what he looked like without the vest. So I added the vest to him. I added something here. I don't know what this is. Oh, those are his shoes. So we're gonna come over here, and the shoes I did in two parts. I did um, like the sock part, and then I did the outer shoe. Now this isn't finished at all, but this is just kind of where I get to. I extracted the shirt so I could make that orange shirt. I gave him some belt buckles and the shoes. I like these little flip out pieces here on the shoes. Makes it look like Tinkerbell shoes or whatever. And so this is kind of where I got with him so far. The thing is I like move from project to project quite a bit, and we don't complete a lot of them. So by announcing our Legions Con project, I'm going to kind of force myself to stick with one thing. Here's what he looks like without his beard. He gets a couple different looks. I felt like without the hat and without the beard, he kind of looked too much like Gargamel from the Smurfs, and just it's funny how like I didn't see Gargamel at all while I was sculpting it, and after just looking at it for a little bit, I'm like, oh, that looks like Gargamel. So he can be bald, and my hope for a lot of these pieces is to be able to reuse the hair on other things and reuse the eyebrows on other things. I think I've sculpted some type of sideburns like 4 or 5 times. Okay, so this phone is sideways. That's not supposed to be like that. So stand by 1 second. That's how it's supposed to be. Sorry, I always spent 5 minutes looking at it sideways. My bad. So, anyways, yeah, here's the old Rumpelstiltskin. It didn't really say what he looked like, but I just decided I guess he looks like Gargamel. So, there's that. I had his goatee a little bit with, um, but as you can see, here's all my pieces, and I can edit these or create new ones to make different looks and whatnot. Hey, Tristan, welcome to the stream.
Hey, I'm here. Finally. Sorry, I was rushing to get some stuff done, and at the last minute, I couldn't find my pen. So
That's okay. I was just going over the finished Rumpelstiltskin, well, not finished, but the further along in the work in progress phase, Rumpelstiltskin. I showed this guy to you briefly before we took our little break for the last 2 weeks. Easter and anniversary kind of halted my streaming process, but I didn't texture up the clothes yet, and I don't know if I want to make this guy like a little like just PVC statue, maybe
Mhm.
like maybe just like almost like Star Wars 3/4 inch size or whatever.
Yeah,
But uh, you know how we do. We might animate. We might stick him in a video game at some point in time. So we'll see how that goes. But I was just telling everybody how we're going to be working openly on our Legions Con 2025 projects from here out. I'm going to do updates and posts, and what I'm hoping from you is as you do chip away at yours as well, that you share those posts with me or just post work in progress pictures to Instagram and to Facebook, just so we can keep some engagement with it. Um, by doing it this way, it's going to one force me to stick with one uh, topic. It's one
hmm
project, and because people will be like, "Well, what happened to the other thing you didn't finish?" And so
yeah.
what's your hopes for? I'm just gonna load up a blank thing for me. What's your hopes for this character you have on your screen right now?
Well, my hopes for this current moment is to get my keyboard working, because for
Oh,
some reason, when I shifted my monitor so that I could sculpt on it, my keyboard isn't working, and my stylus isn't working.
okay.
My mouse is working. Actually, wait, no, hold on. Do we have? Why won't? What is going on with this thing? Sorry, my keyboard is having technical difficulties, but
Yeah.
it seems like the main functions for ZBrush are working at the moment, but my pen still isn't. So I might have to restart my computer and
Yeah.
I'll
Well,
be back.
flip over to my screen, yeah, and I'll just start with my guy here. So usually we start from a sphere and we build this out. This body is our basic body that I modify into other characters. So this is a body that if you look at this topology here, this is squares that make up the model. It's very it's very simple, right? Simplified. And what it is it's got these edge loops here so that we can animate it and bend it. Tristan actually sculpted this a while back, and I've just been using it to figure out my blocking. As you can see, there's a bit of a clown face on there currently. So we have another project in the works that's a clown project that I don't know how far we'll get with that this year. I've good hopes for many things, but um, yeah, I put him in a video game. We're playing with it a little bit, and we might print out more clown heads and clown characters. So this is the base body we work with usually. So we're about 10 minutes in now, so I better get sculpting. So the new project I'm going to do is a Cyber Oni, and 2 years back, I think Legions Con 23 we did a I did a Cyber Oni head, and that head was basically like really quickly done, but my first attempt at a hard surface model. Tristan did a hard surface model a few years back, um, and it looked really, really good. And I got kind of jealous, so I wanted to try my hand at it. So basically, what I'm doing right now is just going to block in what I think maybe I want the basic shape of it to be and see where it goes from there. So basically, I don't know where I'm going with this. I've sculpted a few different types of Oni characters, but I'm hopefully from here you're just going to see like how I just kind of sketch in 3D. I know Tristan likes to work off of sketches, um, and it's kind of difficult on the spot to kind of come up with something like especially in front of people. But right now, I'm just gonna try to find somewhat of a Oni shape on a face. I know they got this downturned mouth a lot of times, um, and then from this point, I'm going to try to figure out the body proportions. So this is a skinny little clown. So my hope is to select some pieces and undo that. Where did I hide that? Unhide all. There we go. Uh, we'll go in here to control, try to select some of this stuff. I mean, I messed that up, but this is just going to be smoothed down anyway. So I'm going to pull this out. I'm going to try to make him a big, scary, ogre size buff Oni. So, and it's also going to be a cyber Oni, a robot. And I'm just trying to figure out why this isn't cooperating with me for the moment. So I'm moving pivot points here, trying to lock them in place and just trying to get, sometimes things work great when you're not on stream, and then sometimes you're on stream and it works horrible like this. So just bear with me a second. Doing things like doing things live like this is rather rather complicated at times. I don't really know exactly where things are going to go. And like I've been doing art in front of people for a while, um, and still like things go bad and you never really know what's going to come up with. So I'll use things like this inflate tool to just kind of inflate the muscles that I've already kind of got sketched in here. And again, I'm going to probably shift that out, smooth that down. I'm going to smooth everything down eventually and then probably replace it with all these robot parts or cyber parts, but just kind of trying to find how tall I want them to be, where I want the leg proportions. Mythic Legions ogres have a short, shorter, sorry, shorter leg span. So I'm gonna smooth this out, and I'm gonna scale. I'm gonna scale it like this way a little bit. So they have a longer torso and shorter legs. One of the things I want to do is to adjust the proportions from the knee down. But again, right now I'm just kind of trying to find what build he's going to be. Is he going to be skinny, fat? He's going to have a real slender waist. I think the waist that I'm going to put on him is going to be like a spinal cord robot thing over here. But you see, he looks kind of skinny this way. So this is just a proportion adjusting. And am I going to want him to be like hunched with a forward facing neck like that? Is am I gonna I don't know, just trying to find an interesting silhouette here that doesn't make him look too weird, but make him look. See, that changes the chest a little bit. And I just go over here with the move tool and just kind of move these things out and kind of figure it out. It's going to look weird for a while. Um, Sometimes we've ran into this before where sometimes things just work out exactly how you want them to, and then sometimes they don't. So this is going to be all smooth anyway. So from this point, I'm just going to smooth all this down and just kind of get rid of a lot of my definition so I'm not um, caught up in the weeds of it. But then I'll go back up to this higher subdivision and it's still there. So I'm going to smooth that down a little bit. Um, we're going to go over to a lot of times we build our characters in pieces, right? Um, because we do 3D printed parts that connect with toy lines, um, mostly Mythic Legions, which is why we're doing this for Legions Con. But we don't do the arms and legs typically. We have done arms and legs, but we don't sell those because the company's asked us not to make those pieces for resale. So this is kind of just blocking in what I think I want my proportions to be. And I think Tristan's coming back up because he's had some issues. What's going on, bud?
Yeah, so I think when I was readjusting my monitor,
Mm-hmm.
uh, I think I pulled something loose on the inside of the monitor. It's
Mm-hmm.
the only thing I could think of because something disconnected when I adjusted it, and now my pen won't work.
So you're having like major technical issues.
Yeah,
So this is probably going to be a solo stream today, then, huh?
probably.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, sorry.
Oh, that's okay. We're all
Maybe
good.
I can get it working.
I mean, you're gonna try it. You're gonna have to try it so to get it working for your own stuff. So okay. Well, talk to you later.
So,
All right. So I don't know. I'm going to keep adjusting these things. One thing I do when I'm concepting like this, because I don't have that many pieces, I'm going to use primitives like a ball here, right? And we're just going to build up the robot pieces on the outside of this guy. So uh, we're going to put this ball where the shoulder is going to be and figure out what size I want it. Like that. Maybe I'll thin it up a little bit. All right. And from here, I do this little trick where we mirror it and deformation mirror, and it goes the other side. There's a bunch of hoops you got to jump through in this program, but this is just the process. So we have two here, and I have these mirror things on these little butterfly things. So when I move the one, the other will either move with it. If I draw on the one, it's mirroring over that one. So maybe I take that off. There it is. So it mirrors over there. So from here, I'm just trying to. I've looked at reference photos um, of the way that I want the different guys to be. I kind of want to use example. I want the legs right here. I want these legs to be the Mythic Legion's legs. So where's our guy here? We have a Rakagor. Let's see if that's still centered up because I just bumped it. Okay, so we have a Rakagor's legs here, and it's got like spikies on it and stuff. I want to use these legs, okay, and I want to use these arms for this guy. Eventually, when we make our 3D parts, we're gonna do different arm gauntlets. We've already done some of those, but I'm just gonna kind of bring in some simple shapes. This is a cylinder. That'll be his bicep area. I'm basically gonna use it as a bone to attach other things to. So we're gonna make it thicker here and kind of put it here. And when I look at like robots and stuff, they always have like cylinders. This is just the concepting phase too. So like this is not going to be anywhere close to my final project. This is just sketching in 3D. So I'm just laying parts out to see like do I want this to be a cylinder back here? Do I want to duplicate it? And do I want to put it in the front for a bicep? I want to replace that with a smaller one. Do I want to make it uh, wider like that? And I don't know. I'm just gonna throw things on here. There's a few different hard surface uh, This is what they call hard surface. There's a few different hard surface tricks you can do, but right now I'm just kind of feeling like, do I want this to be a plate over the bicep here, like that? If you look at a lot of artist renditions pre AI, um, there's a good there is a good 15 years of uh, 2000s 1998 to 2000s Metal Gear, different types of robot designs. There's the sleek, like this would be if this was a pad over here, and then skin underneath where the brown would be. Or you could have like, and I'm gonna subdivide this a couple times. You could have pads on it, kind of coming across. Oh, that's not kind of like that across the things like that. Um, One thing I'm definitely going to do, and this is just normal procedure for us. I'm going to divide this guy one more time. I'm going to cut out like panels like this. Um, and this is just part of it. So, like, he's going to bend here. And is this robot going to be completely unhuman or human? Well, I'm going to throw some abs on him there. And then I'll go to the extract button down here. And it's going to actually turn those into its own geometry. I'm going to hit it from the side here so I can see uh, how thick they are. I think that's thicker than I want them to be. So I'm going to bring down the thickness. And then you got to hit accept to confirm it. So now these are pads and they are connected there. Are they connected there? Yeah, they are. A lot of times when I'm going quick, I'm going to delete those and try them again. I think the concepting phase is fun a lot of the times, and see how, like, these are far away, but somehow when they extracted, they became one piece. So I'm just going to try that again. Extract. And there we go. And it didn't do it. Extract. And accepted it. Okay. So here's some ab pieces. And I'm just going to throw a whole bunch of different things on this guy and see where he goes. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to uh, make this piece separate and maybe kind of do a little point up here. And then I have to figure out which lines I'm going to follow. I want to make a rib cage, but I want it to be floating up almost like a skeleton. But on top of this skeleton, I'm going to put uh, other things. So I have to figure out what kind of pieces I'm going to make. And the ribs kind of go up the back, and I can stylize this a little bit like that. And see what I like about that, what I don't like about that. I think that could be okay for an extrusion attempt. Maybe I'll come down the back like this. Now this is going to be a torso, so like the one things we mostly do is heads, because more people buy the heads than the whole sets. We've made whole sets. It's kind of picking up a Venom vibe like this, which I don't hate. Uh, but okay, so like, let's see. I like this shape here, and this is just a good thing about having anatomy is you can pick up the different shapes. And when I draw on top of it like this, it will keep a little bit of that anatomy in here uh, to help me go. So I guess I'll just do that with a bunch of these pieces and I'll extract them all at once. But right now I'm just kind of figuring out what are interesting shapes. Um, here's the scapula here, right? I think that's what that's called. And you're just going to see different. I feel like since Iron Man came out, there's just a certain way that a robotic human body looks like. If you look all the way back to the middle ages, right, and they have those knight outfits, they bend in a certain position, like they have joints around the elbows, they have joints around the back, and they have armor. I think I'm gonna do this. I think that'll look cool. And this is the I mean, this is why like I love this so much. Like I have no idea what I'm getting into, and either I'll like something or I'll hate it. I wasn't, and every time I do a piece, it's like I don't like something up until a certain point. Here's another thing too. So like I think I wasn't going to continue that out as part of this original piece, but I think that thing looks pretty cool. So uh, so when I get to a point where I really like something, I will separate that as one one extrusion, like I did the abs. So the abs is a different extrusion than this one. And I want to do stuff around the neck. I already kind of figure I know what I'm getting into here. Um, Whoever just joined, thank you for stopping by. Um, we're doing Onis. We're doing Cyber Onis, and I'm just sketching this out right now, and it looks a little silly right now, but hopefully we will get into something cooler. So here we go into the extract, and I don't really know if I can see comments on this right now or not. Uh, Due to streaming or looking at level up, check out StreamYard $10 discount. Oh, it's just an advertisement. I didn't type that. All right. So here's this guy. And next thing we're going to do is, oh, I was going to extrude that first, right? Got distracted. Um, Come over here to extract and see what that looks like. I'll just accept it. And we'll see how that piece is looking. And what I'll end up doing here is I'll come in here with the movie brush and I'll kind of tighten some of this up and we'll make things pointy and then uh, we'll make it cool. But I'm just kind of seeing if I like this piece right here. I didn't think I wanted this to touch and it did. So there's a way I can separate that, but maybe I like that. Maybe I like how that goes here and here. Sometimes you have happy mistakes. I'll leave that as it is there. So another thing on like some of these, so select back on this guy. A lot of these things is you want it to look futuristic because we're doing like a spacey uh, cyberpunk deal, right? But you also want to keep it traditional to an Oni, right? Which is not that at all. So there's a blend there. So it's like, am I going to put traditional like samurai armor on him? A lot of Oni pictures are just in like claws and rags. Why is that not? It's not symmetrical. Okay, so here's a situation I'm running into. Um, my mesh is not symmetrical. I think I noticed that at the beginning, and I didn't really fix it then. So now I'm in trouble. So I think we'll see what's going to happen. So I'm going to go to the mirror and weld thing again. Um, Geometry, mirror weld. It has subdivisions, so it wants me to take off my subdivisions. So you see that I'm going down low. I want to go bigger. I'm gonna go hide. We're just concepting, so we're just gonna delete the lower, and we're going to mirror and weld. So that changed things slightly. Didn't change anything down here where that is, and that's why when I was doing the one side, it wasn't. All right, so we're just gonna do a chest plate here, like that. Go back to extract. All right, sure, why not? Let's keep it. Brain shut down for a minute. All right, extract. So now he's got stop doing it. Accept. All right, so here he is with those two things on there. This is the part where it gets kind of fun because uh, I can still sketch on the guy here, right? I can still kind of create little tubing or ribbing underneath of it. Once I extracted this, now I can go underneath of it and kind of dig in different places in here and just try to figure out what parts are going to be some type of armor. What parts do I want to be bendable? and what parts I want to just get rid of. So just go back in here. This is this at this point in time, I'm just trying to build up armor pieces. I'm just going to hit the same thing, which is extract and accept. And I think that, so, okay, so that doubled. I did like 2 extractions here. So one thing, sometimes I work in solo mode like this, and as you can see, that's all extracted as one piece. So like these first ones I did are not necessary because they don't have all the pieces. That this one does, but these two do not. So I'm just going to get rid of these. Delete. Okay. And if you're doing this and you don't delete these, you're going to get doubles of your mesh, and it's going to just be ridiculous. Oh, that still has the abs on it. Okay. I'm going to delete this one too, because basically I have all these pieces. I don't need doubles of them. And they're just going to go on top of each other and get me confused if I do it that way. So here's a start to that. And just trying to figure out, like up here, if I select this guy, unmask him, what kind of little things I'm going to do to this to make it cool. So there's that. You see all this wiggliness? We'll address that later. I'm just trying to get like a, and another thing I'll do when I'm concepting, because it is just concepting, I will like change the material. So the armor pieces, I'll make this color, and then I will fill the object. And then I'll go over to change my material. That didn't fill the object. Oh, my material RGB was not on. Go back to Chrome. I like that. And fill object. I don't know which one I filled. Okay, I filled the armor. And we'll put this guy back to some sort of gray. See if I can find a different color. So I wanted the armor to be shiny red. So I messed that up. So I want the body to be, and I'm trying to figure in my head, my body to be a darker gray. So we'll take that back to gray. I think that's a good gray. And I'm just talking about like in my head when I envision it, like what I'm hoping for. And yeah, something like that for the armor. Maybe darker. And then I'll go to the different shiny. Yeah, maybe we'll do that. I don't want it to be too shiny right now. I think that'll work. And we're going to apply this to that. All right, so there's a little start. Now if I just keep that color, and let's see if I can extract some legs. I think I'm just gonna turn this off. At this point, I'm painting. Can I do that? There we go. All right. So I'm just gonna figure out this like spikes on his legs and stuff right now. I'm just spitballing things. I know his legs are going to be something like a Rakagor, so I'm just gonna put some bumps on him. Try to figure out where that is. I can use the snake hook brush here, make it a little bit bigger, and pull out some of the spikes. Ooh, that is got RGB on it. Take that off. So Tristan has some legs that are similar to this, actually, that he made before Arakagor came out. That if I find those files, maybe I'll import those. But uh, we have a few legs that actually are ogre scale that we did for our original Raijin and Fujin custom. But there's that. I'm keeping his legs small because I'm going to the bottom, I'm going to just make that all robotic. So just figure this out as we go. So this is like what I was talking about with making it super skinny. That is an unexpected cool something or other. Gotta embrace the yeah, that's kind of cool. This is what I talked about being like robotic or not. Like so I sucked that in so those are actually standing out further. And I could actually separate this piece at this point, but I'm going to subdivide that guy one more time. See if I can smooth this out. I'm going to subdivide them again. It's a kind of neat little. And I just jump all over. Like at this time, I'm just like looking, seeing what we like. Uh, let's go for knees. So we go knees. I'm just gonna work down. We'll do the crotch piece. Um, so I'm gonna mask this off. And this might be a piece that we just hang on the belt over top of it. But I'm just gonna extract them one at a time and see what we can build up as far as layers go. I gotta see it from the side when I extract it. It's not that thick. So make it a little bit thicker. We're gonna erase all that other stuff. Get a single. All right, so nothing else is masked. He still looks a little clownish, but I'm not really worried about his face. I could just that original Oni head that I sculpted 2 years ago. I tried to bring that in so I could just set it on there as a stand-in, but it was not connecting to Wi-Fi uh, that well, so it didn't get over before the stream. Yeah, we'll take that. Accept. All right, so we got a cod piece right here. I'm looking at it, and if you go to uh, Z-Remesh, it is super thick. So I'm going to go to Z-Remesher and hit that and see what it does to it. It's thinking about it. And we're going to uh, go half of that, remesh it again, remesh it again. And every time it does this, what it's going to do is going to smooth this out into the most simplistic shape it has right there. And from here, I can already see it's like doing exactly kind of what I want it to do. So if I keep on hitting this, it might mess it up, but I can always undo it. So that's easier geometry. That's easier geometry. And then that just did something different. So one of the things you can do here is I'm going to turn this adaptive size way down, maybe like 7 and 7, and see what it does. If it ruins it, it did nothing. See, it's already changing the shape a little bit too much, so I'm good with that for right now. And here we are. And I'm going to go to the droplet and turn this to standard and fill that as well. So now we have that piece. And let's see what else you want to do. I think we're going to go back to the original mesh here, clear that mask, turn everything back on, and I'm going to make another mask here. And this is just going to be some type of hip separator. And you see this is mirrored so it goes all the way around. Now, in my mind, I don't know how thick I want to make this guy again, but once I get these pieces, I can adjust them by scaling them. Um, And even this piece here, like if I go in here and select this guy and I say I want these pieces bigger and more aggressive, I can do that. If I want these pieces further out, which that makes this midsection a little bit thicker, we're not going to do that. Um, Here on the chest pieces, I like that. All right. Here's another thing that he won't be like symmetrical in the end, because the whole point of this is to have different pieces that you can plug together to create different variations of it or different versions. So, or I'm going to start it out symmetrical at least. Select these guys and maybe move. No, and that's another thing I can do. So what if I mask that and go over here, make him a little bit wider. Not that way. Going to center that up to the body, not the world. The body is in the center of the world. There we go. And see if we move it up. No, we gotta scale it. If we scale it out, maybe he makes it a little bit wider. And that'll work because the armor I pulled out, and that'll match it. So this is the underbody, and this is the plates. So let's just concentrate on the underbody. I'm going to take this, and I'm going to go gray, and I'm going to go gray again, matte cap gray. I'm going to go to standard and fill. He's back here too, some type of robot thing. Things that I just noticed from this that I love is I love what it turned these abs into. So I'm going to smooth this out and see what shapes I have here. And that, that has do that. That has a human ab area, but it does not look human. I might actually turn these side pieces right here into some type of cylindrical hinge. So maybe I go in here, and this is huge. That's why if you look at this mesh, I just subdivided the crap out of it. So what I'm going to do, since I'm in sketch mode, is I'm going to go back to ZRemesher, and I'm going to ZRemesh this and change that back to there. Adaptive, we're going to hit ZRemesh, and hopefully it doesn't crash. And if it does, then I'll have to hopefully find a quick save. I'm going to cancel that. Can I cancel that? Nope, I'm committed. So let's see what happens. Yeah, I aborted it. Let's clear that. So I have 18 million polygons here. I think that should be okay to save. So I'm going to save this. Clone body 01. Okay, that's good. Now I'm going to ZRemesh it because now it's saved, and if it goes wrong, then no big deal. And we'll just sit here and wait. So yeah, I really like the ogre scale. It's one of it's my favorite scale. The only thing I don't really like about it so much is the proportions of the legs, and that's what I'm going to try to change. But it works for the ogres, but I don't know if that necessarily works for an Oni character, and that's why I say I'm not really crazy about it for that. I know a lot of people um, vary proportions, but I like the ogre proportions on the dragon if it's a dragon. I like it on the ogre, but as far as like uh, my guys want to change it up a little bit, so here we are thinking about it still. Okay, so that did actually see what it did there. It smoothed everything out, and then now it can actually was chunking up. So now I can actually go back here, take that off, and see where I'm sitting. Uh, this thing didn't slide over like I wanted it to. So let's do that. Maybe make that a little bit bigger. And that's that piece. I don't know what happened to the red on that, but we'll leave it for now. Maybe we'll scale that up a little bit. That kind of makes it look a little anime, a little sillier than what I wanted it to. Let's go back to this body. Turn that off. I can see I want a break in the torso because we need to break it for the arms to plug in. So I'm going to take a big old piece here and carry that around. So I don't know at this point in time if it's even worth breaking apart yet, but I think it wouldn't hurt. So if I don't want to break that, don't want to break that yet. Sure. We'll just do the old extract, the same thing we've been doing. Polygroup it. Just thinking. The hard thing is like sometimes I'll just sit here and think for a little bit, but when I'm doing it live, I just don't want to not do anything for a minute or two. So yeah, I'm gonna just extract that again. Uh, extract. Maybe that's a little big. Extract again. Accept it. Do it like that. It's looking all right. So he's got some type of either strap. And see how all that's messed up there? We can fix that later. I'm just going to pull it over with the move tool right now. Kind of smooth this out. Do it like that. No, I don't want to do it. I want to keep it hard. All right, what do Onis have? Let's do like a cylinder rocket back. Is this still a cylinder? It is still a cylinder. I want it straight up and down, so I'm going to append a new one. Where did it go? Did I copy that? That's what I want. I've actually tried this a few times and haven't been getting very much, very many interesting things or things that I felt was worth exploring. So doing it live like this is kind of me also forcing myself to kind of try to commit to something and not just scrap it over and over and over and over. We'll make this one some type of chrome. Go to here, go to here. Fill that. Go back to the body. Take that back to matte cap gray. Eventually, I'll go replace these cylinders with other things. It will be a cylindrical object, hopefully. But a lot of things I was going to do was boring, tedious stuff. So I was going to let Tristan kind of solo screen while I was doing some stuff. But, you know, things come up. So saving the project right now. Okay. We're going to go to geometry. Now we're going to go to deformation. We're going to mirror that so it's back over here. We're going to go to geometry. We're going to mirror and weld that back over here. Some type of cylinders. I could put swords in there. I could put like those could be swords. Those could be some sort of lightsaber. There's that. What do I see in a lot of like sci-fi stuff, a lot of hard surface stuff. I see greebling, which we do have in here. I'm going to greeble with simple shapes and then replace them with something else. So on the shoulders, sometimes you see like these little bolts coming off or tube hoses. So we're gonna go in here and try to figure something out here. And this could also end up being a shoulder pad. So um, there's that. I'll probably go back in and make it all like perfectly angled and symmetrical, but I'm gonna do it like this. We just want to copy it this time. Duplicate. Kind of rotate it around that way. Like that. Do it again. Duplicate. Go away. And bring it down, bring it out, rotate a little bit. Kind of figure out where I want this to live. 3, pull it out here. When I'm doing this, I just kind of like always try to look at it from different angles. If it's a machine part, if it's manufactured, hopefully everything would be on its own like symmetrical for versus I don't know what I'm saying. Lost the words. That's why like it's easier to not talk and just make. Anyway, uh, double that, shrink that down. So you can see I have another little nubby out of here. And another thing I can do is shift that and see what it does. You see that right there? They gave me like a little cap. And if I want to do that to all of them, I can. I just have to go each one by one. Or I could use this other brush that is called Insert Multi-Mesh. And this is where I don't know if it's cheating or not, but it is a mecha brush, right? So like I have all these things here, and I think Tristan used some of this on his original, but it'll take a face and it'll just draw that thing on there wherever I put it. But you got to make sure, and if I can get that on there, you want it to be right in the middle there, and it'll draw it out evenly. So you can see the difference between that. I don't know if I can scale that. Oh, I can scale that like that. So that pretty much did the same effect as that other thing I did. So I'll go back in through here and find different greebling. Like that one's pretty cool. Maybe I'll put that one on this one. So you just in the middle there. You put that's a little bit different, you know. And can I scale that one too? Yeah, scale that one. So there's shortcuts and there's easy ways to make it look mechanical. I'm trying to see if there's anything. This vent's kind of cool. Tech holes. Let's select this thing and see what it does here. Is that straight on the object? No, that's hovering above it. What if I do this? Nope. I don't really use these things, so on the curved surfaces, it's not going to work too well. Like maybe like over here, let's select this guy and see what it does here. And do nothing. Always work on the right, but I should work on the left because the left is what I mirror. So all those pieces are going to have to be mirrored. That's still floating above the surface. Yeah, there's something you can do where you embed it in the surface, but I think that's kind of on the finishing end of it, and I'm not going to do that quite yet. But I'm just going to go back here and get some, turn that off, and get some more armor pieces on here. This is like the free form, just kind of figuring out what you want your guy to be. There's a muscle here in the leg. Um, and that'll be my next extrusion. since I have these pieces here on the leg, and the dragon actually has spikes there, it is possible that I could build 3D armor pieces that actually. Oh, Jonathan's live a little bit early. I thought it usually comes on at 3. Uh, go check out my buddy Jonathan. All right, here we go. There's that. It looks a little thin, so we're gonna go bigger. We're gonna go that size. Accept it. And we're gonna pick this. I don't remember what we used. Maybe I used Chrome and I turned it to red. All right. So I'm gonna turn this guy back to red. Select the red. Go to that one. Fill object. Go back to matte gray. Turn this guy to matte gray. Oh, I'm darker. Man, I like that dark. But I can't really tell. We'll eventually go dark with it, but I'm gonna keep it light like that. Gonna fill object on him. Maybe make that a little darker. Fill object on that. All right, so there's those pieces. One, I thought I had that selected, and it was red. And delete that. How long we been going for? Almost an hour. Okay, to select that. Go to here. The whole point of me going to this Chrome was to make it red, and that didn't happen. But we're back. Back to matte cap gray. Take that off. All right, here's this. I feel like I'm going to shift off to a head here. Just kind of work on a head a little bit. I'm kind of liking where this is going already. Kind of select this guy, turn that off. And there's a tubes brush that I could use, or I can just kind of sculpt tubing in here. I think I'm just going to sculpt some tubing. That's still not enough definition, so we're going to subdivide again, and just kind of draw on some wires or something, some synthetic something or other. And then I'll separate that. We'll go to Damien Stangeon, maybe separate this out. All the way up with this. Again, it's not human, so I can do whatever I want. Now, clay buildup is something I don't usually do, but let's see what we can get out of it. And the other one is planer brush, maybe flatten. So you sculpt that, and then you hit it with the flatten, and that'll give you another hard surface or an angle for that. And you turn it this way, you flatten it at this angle. I'm starting to do some type of something or other there. And let's see if I can hit this with the flatten angle. Just flatten out some shapes. For these, for example, if I hit that here, I could turn this into some type of shape. Another thing I can use is a pinch brush. Where did my brushes go? Where did my brushes go? There they are. Pinch, pinch, pinch. I can pinch the corners here, and that'll give me some sort of hard surface edge. See it? That kind of already gave it to me. You can smooth this out a little bit. And then pinch that together. Use this Damien standard right over the edge here. Hope that's going in. We're going to pull it out. Like that. See that? Smooth that out. Maybe I'll go in here. 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 Go in there. Just trying to find something interesting. Some of these pieces. Do that. You can see here getting just different types of looks. And like this area right here, like I don't know what to do in here. I might just do some type of like separate this. And this is what I'll do after I get all my pieces I want. Take this here, I'll separate it. Do it like that. Don't want to go up higher. Ooh, I like that black and gray like that. I think that's what I'm going to do for the underbody. We're going to harden the mask, invert it. All right. And do the same thing. Extract it. We're just going to extract that. Too much. Delete. Just want to extract it a little bit. That didn't do it all what I wanted to do. Delete. Okay. Anybody here? Ooh, we got people here. Hey Simon, how you doing, bud? Tristan was not able to. He messed his computer up somehow, so he wasn't able to join. So thanks for stopping by, guys. Yeah, just trying to figure out a body and a torso to match these heads that I'm doing. Been looking at a hard surface for quite a while. Not really happy with where I was or how it was looking, and just kind of trudging along, finding things I like. Like I think that torso is pretty cool. Now it will end up being eventually able to plug into like Mythic Legion's um, characters. Let's see if we got anybody else in here. Yeah, so it'll go 1.0 ogre. Just trying to find out what angles I like, what kind of interesting shapes there are. So why is this not working? Damien standard. Boom. Gonna do one here. maybe I will come in here with one of these. That looks pretty cool. Like that. I think I'll do one of these underneath here. So like building up robotics, like there's always layers. So I'm trying to figure out what I want my layers to be, and try to not make it look like uh, Iron Man or uh, other things. But I think that piece is cool. I like that, but do I like that better? Yep. Yes, I do. So let's try this extract again. It was too thick. I'm trying to make this super thin. I just want it to be a little solo extract. Why is that happening? Solo. Turn that off. Extract. Yes. But let me undo that and do this. And I want to flake this in just to see what that looks like a little bit. So this is another thing that I do is I'll mask this off and then inflate that negatively like that. But that's giving me a lot of, let's see. Hmm. Yep, that's cool. I'll keep it. Now, can I shrink that mask? Yeah, I guess that did exactly what I wanted it to do. So there's that. Let's try these. Let's do this. Insert. I'm gonna take that. I'm gonna turn it red. I'm gonna fill that in red. And then we're gonna turn that back on over here. So you see that red underneath there, but it's not part of the other. Should I do that not in red? Should I do it in just a darker, like a black? Dark red. That separates it. Okay with that. See, this is where I'd be like, hey, Tristan, what do you think about this? He ain't here. Okay. Let's do this insert multi-mesh eye. And then we're going to go to mecha parts. Just like this guy and see how does that work? Does it go like this, like this? I think I'll put that on his side like this. And on his shoulders like this. Maybe not there. I like it on the side, but not the shoulders. Is it freezing or is it saving? That's the question. I should probably resave this. It's saving it as a quick save, but save next. Boom. I should probably rename it from Clown Body because I don't think it's a clown anymore. Still only at an hour. So Tristan usually runs these streams. We still got somebody here. Tristan usually runs the streams, and I can look at comments. But right now, since he had to drop out, I can't see the comments because I got on my little phone, and it's up top, so I could draw underneath. So if I'm missing comments, sorry guys. Okay, the multi mesh. I'm not ready for that. I keep wanting to go to it, but then in the end, I just gotta get some armor pieces on here first. So we'll do. I kind of like this shape for the knees. I kind of use like an upside down cod piece that I already did one, but I think I'm going to try and do like split armor down the legs. So let me fill that in now. There's a better way to do this, but I forget how to do it, and it would just cost me time to try to refigure it out in dead air. So I'm just going to color it in like a coloring book here. There's the way to fill the mask, voided mask area, but I'm going to do that. And I'm going to extract that. This step is just the same thing over and over. Extract, extract, accept. Look at it. Is it big enough? No. So I'm going to delete that. Which one is that? Dude, I don't hate that. Might use that somewhere else. I'll keep that for now. Yeah, I'm going to delete that. We'll do it again. Select this guy. I know this doesn't look like ogre scale like I wanted to begin with, but I'm just trying to get like a mech shape to the underbody. I think I'm going to see what else I can do up here as far as this goes, because I like this stuff. So I'm going to carry it through. So, when I think about mech, when I think about anime, I think about like vents, right? And vents and like skeletal structures. So these will be the vent part of it, and just kind of do whatever comes to me. If it looks good, we'll keep it. See, like these little circles and stuff, it doesn't match the rest of it. So this does. Maybe I'll do like a little something like that. A little something like that. And I bump those out on the outside. But maybe I'll bump them in on the inside. I might use that armor on the outside. I might not if everything this looks better. And then also, like I could do two different versions. I could do a version that is armored up or a base body. Stop that. I don't know what that is. And do the base body like this. And then just see if, Okay, so I'll make my brush bigger. Hopefully that'll color it in quicker. At least we can do that. See, he doesn't really need pec muscles per se because he's a machine. So I could actually come back down lower than what the pec would be. Like it's not going to bend. It's going to be a solid piece. Use Alt to. So all right. Again, this is just me sketching. Really, I don't have any plans coming in here. Again, like I made that line and it just keeps turning into some type of venom like symbol. I can see. You can see venom in the front there too. All right. Do I like that? I think I do. Stop that. Do I want to break that up? Do I want to break that up? I like to also have like one or two. This is what I would ask Tristan. One or two. But he's not here. So I guess we're picking two. And do I want it to be smooth? Do I want it to be? Do I bump that out, or do I inflate it? All right, so let's inverse that, and we're gonna go to extract this time. We're gonna go to deformation. We're going to inflate inward. Then we're going to select the darker color and fill that object. And then unmask. And do that. I don't want that chrome. I just want that darker gray. Select over here. Now we're going to unmask. That's pretty neat. I have to. I have to stop myself from. I don't really have to stop myself. So what I can do is I can just go nuts because it's like low resolution stuff. Again, I could be doing this on something that they call subdivisions, or I'm sorry, Dynamesh. But I come in here and detail this stuff. This is like later stuff that I should be doing. Just kind of want to feel like I'm getting some sort of machined something by the end of the stream. So I can always come back through and fix this. But, you know, we'll see how this goes. And I'm freehanding this, so like if I do it real quick now, I can mess things up for myself later. So make that go all the way down. And smooth this out. I don't even know what this is right here. That is bad geometry. That's what that is. So this is where I might Dynamesh it at this point because I don't know what this is. And if I Dynamesh it, I might lose my colored areas, or I Z remesh it and I Z remesh it with polygroups active. Let's go to Z remesh and see what options we got. Keep poly paint. Use poly paint, and let's see if it crashes. Let's see if it messes it up. Okay, it did what I wanted it to do, but you see how it like made everything soft. So I'm going to undo that, and I'm going to duplicate the body and work on a duplicate. So this time I'm going to try Dynamesh. It says I need to delete my subdivisions. We're going to delete the lower. Then we're going to go Dynamesh. You see I killed all my detail. I got to bump this up really high and Dynamesh it now. So now it's like super, can sculpt on it. Okay, that's good. Take that off and smooth these out. Okay, I had to do all that just to get rid of this weird thing here. But see, now that's all one solid piece. So I can come back in here. I can build this back up and I can smooth it like that. And I can build it up with the Damien Standard brush again. So that's like its own piece. And we're going to come down here. So that's one solid piece. And now I'm going to come back in here and hopefully be able to just continue all that just to do these uh, whatever ribbing machine pieces, endoskeleton, exoskeleton, whatever part it is. Coming down here, all the way down here, all the way down here. So there's that. Question is, how far up in the neck do I make it? So this is the sketching part. I don't know. So like I feel like this could come around to something sharp. I could have like a circle in here. Do I have a circle? Drag rect. Do circle. Do circle there. And I think that's all right. Put that down lower here. It's kind of neat. Now I want to take that circle off, go back to no alpha, go back to dots. So I have an idea now. I think I'm going to separate the neck. Like this now. Trying to figure out where I want the neck to be removable at. So I like to be able to like swap out, have swap out necks. So detach. No. Okay, I could do it like that, but I'm not going to. And again, my original Oni head will probably be the head that we put on this first, and then if I have time, I will go ahead and make different heads to put on these bodies, and then vary these bodies slightly. Maybe vary the forearm size and whatnot, and then spend about 3 months detailing it all and making it perfect. And we'll do that on live streams too. So I've watched like other guys that do ZBrush videos, and like I've seen both when they start from nothing and they get somewhere, which is more than 2 hours, and we were at 225 right now. So let's see, let's go in here. Is that all good? This is where I'm doing like my first major split of the base body. Uh, so we're going to go to split. Let's get rid of this. Delete that. Before I split this, let's copy. Okay. Okay. So if I mess that up, then I'm good to go. Split mask points. So now we have I forgot to take this out. All right, split mass points now. And I gotta check my split. Something went wrong there. That wasn't colored in. It's gotta be all dark to be masked. Now I do it. Split mass points. And then I can go to modify topology and close holes on the head. So if you look at it now, it was open and it's still open. So go to close holes. What that does is it fills in the whole neck with the base piece. So now that is separated from the body. But now if you look at the body, I have a hole in the head. So I do the same operation here. Split, close holes. But I got this pink. We're gonna undo that. Just gonna select the base color. Now we're gonna close holes. So he is a decapitated Oni. And now he's back. You can see, like, you can barely even see the difference where the head was and where it wasn't. I have two heads. I have that one. I have that one. I'm going to delete this one. This one I want. This one I don't want. Delete that one. Okay, so that's the one I need. That's the other one I need. So again, you can't even see where the two things are split right now. That means they're going to join together. Pretty perfect. Now, the reason I did this with this head is because I'm not sure. Like if I want the neck to be longer or not. But just kind of figuring this out. What do we put on the back of the neck here? We're going to grab this guy. We're going to do the little spinal cord pieces. This is the hard surface type stuff here. You come through, you do a little shape like a spine, maybe like that. I might just take one of these pieces and detail it out and then just copy it over and over. But I got to figure out what I want the piece to look like in the first place. Maybe something like that. All right, so let's do that. So we're going to just take that first one I did. We're going to do the same thing we've been doing, which is extract. Just got a little spine piece. That look good. This is where you can do things. You can do things like sketching where you want the border to be. I'm going to zero mesh this. Zero mesh it again. Do half of that, half of that. See, it's kind of smoothing out the borders there. Now, saving project. I'm gonna make this black. Maybe not black, black. Like that. Fill object. I'm going to subdivide this to give me more sculptable geometry. Now I can go in and just figure out like pieces. Like, don't do that. Did I color? Is that what I did? Another thing I can do is in this program, if I get something that I like, I can go into another program and rebuild it basically with sharper edges. And if it doesn't get sharp in this program, there is things I can do in this program to do the same thing. I just don't know if I'm going to do all these pieces in ZBrush or a CAD program that I like to use. So that is another something that might. What is that? We're not using inflate. I didn't do at all what I wanted to do. Uh, Maybe I can do it with a brush. Nope, don't do that either. Okay, maybe I can do it with move. I'm gonna solo this out. Yeah, center that to the object. Nope, rotate it that way. That's the axis I want to come in on. And what does that look like? Undo that. We're gonna divide this again. Give me more resolution. Of course, you're not gonna let me do that. Okay, fine then. I'm gonna take this piece right here, grab the inside of that, make a little spiky spine part. Now I'm gonna take it and I'm gonna go invert that and I'm gonna pull this part out like that. So it gives me a little spiny bit. And that's just to represent what I'm gonna do down the whole back, hopefully. But from here, I can just hopefully duplicate it, move it. This is another thing I don't understand. Like, center up on the object, but it's not. Is that because this center up? No, okay. See, there's a lot of trial and error in this. Okay, so I'm gonna duplicate that down again. Duplicate it down again. Move it. Turn on invisible. Maybe that'll help. Not really. I think I'll hide this one. That'll make it easier. So you have to make sure though, these are only on the neck piece and not on the cut piece. Just looks like I'm getting pretty close. But I can take this move. It's supposed to get bigger the lower it goes. lost that one. I was on invisible. Get off of that. Okay. So I'll just play with these a little bit, trying to get them worked out. But these pieces are also cool because I can take them, duplicate, and put them other places on the body, right? So take it to the front, rotate it 180. It wasn't 180. Can make this shin armor. Because Onis, and samurais are all like part of the same world. This is going to be a suit of armor, but with an Oni head. So maybe I can take that. Bend deformer. I have to cancel my subdivisions here. Let's try this again. Bend deformer. Do it like that. Not there. I got a bird trying to build a nest in my air conditioner right now. I don't know if it comes through on the stream. One of these axes is going to do what I want it to do. If I can figure it out. I hear Tristan. Maybe I can ask him. Hey, Tristan. Can you come here for a second?
So,
Trying to use this bend deformer on the knee.
okay.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
I need to bend it around the calf.
Grab the green arrow. You want to kind of grab it from the top view, though. It is kind of dependent on where your camera is.
It's camera dependent.
Somewhat. Only in like what direction you're dragging the arrow.
Okay.
There you go.
Ooh, now what did I do?
You grabbed one of the other arrows.
Hey, that's the first time I use this thing.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
There
are a few other cool features.
Hey, since you're up here, what do you think about this thing so far?
Let's see. Yeah, did you just do all that just during this stream? Like the body and all that?
Well, the body was there, but I didn't build the body, but yeah. And I have another thing on it. I'm still on the stream.
That's pretty cool.
I don't know what I did. Did I delete that? Oh, look at this. So.
Oh yeah, that's pretty sick. Only thing I would say is like I can see certain forms that I feel like you could push out a little bit more. Like it's kind of similar of some designs I've seen before, but like it kind of looks somewhat alien. Like if you like over exaggerated this like rib area, pushed out these like hips, you'd have like a really like
xenomorph.
Yeah, somewhat.
Well, I don't know. I'm just
like
trying to feel. So you're feeling like that part looks like a xenomorph. I'm going to put like tubes and stuff to like thicken it up in this area.
Make it look even more cybermorph.
Cybermorph, yeah. But I played around with the insert brush.
Oh, that's cool.
Just feeling, but yeah, I like this. I don't know, I like the basic body shape. I
Yeah,
think this is kind of cool.
yeah, it's
It
cool.
feels not human. You know what I mean? So that
Definitely.
was the
Well, I think that was kind of the major point I was making. Is like,
yeah. It's
if you
super.
exaggerated those features even more, it'd be even like less human.
Yeah, I could definitely go straight Xeno. I mean, he says somewhat Xenomorph right now.
He's starting to adopt the head shape as well.
Well, the head shape was like the
It's like a slow evolution.
Xenomorph, almost werewolf.
Yeah. Xeno weremorph.
Yeah, well, I tried to get the regular Oni head, the Cyber Oni head in here, but it said the internet wasn't connected. I was on 2 bars,
That's right.
so is whatever. Okay, thanks for the help.
Yeah.
Thanks for the insight. But yeah, so we got this guy here. That's good. I'm gonna make a little bit of duplication here. As far as like samurai, right? Like if we're doing samurai, will this read right here what I'm doing here enough? Like with these kind of sticking out like that.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen stuff like that in
And I don't
different
want it to
like.
look I want it to look clean and hard surface. Like this isn't the end goal by far, but I'm just trying to concept.
Yeah. No, for sure.
So
I think certain elements of it definitely are, but like I think if you look more at like the details of like Japanese armor, like whatnot, you could draw inspiration from
yeah, I don't want it to look like Iron Man, but
yeah.
I don't want it to look like too side, Japanese. There's a
A lot of what goes into like Japanese armor,
mm-hmm,
or like samurai armor, they have a lot of like small plating, like interwoven together
mm-hmm,
to form the armor, essentially,
mm-hmm.
right? And like they'll spread it through like big plates, little plates, depending on where. Like
So I have to turn this off now.
what?
I have to accept it.
Yeah.
Now it's off, and I can just
I mean, if you move the cursor, it would essentially like accept it for you.
okay.
But yeah, you just accept it. Um. So yeah, like a lot of plating is like
This style.
yeah, pretty much. And if you
Okay.
had like tubes or something going in between that, I think that'd be pretty
Tubes.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tubes where? Like from here to here, or from like here to here?
Um, you could have like you could start to get it into like the more like cybernetic stuff in like the back, and you
Mm-hmm.
could just have like tubes just kind of underneath or like weaving through certain like
Okay.
uh
I gotcha.
passages or something that you create.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
Sweet. I will see what I can do.
Can't wait to see.
I got about 15 minutes. Okay, we're still on stream, so I should start talking again. All right, so that's what we interested in do. We just kind of bounce stuff off each other, and somehow in here, I will come up with something. See, I don't like the skinny part of this leg. Still too skinny. But let's see how this goes. Anything selected? See, I should have planned that a different color because, like, I don't know what's selected now and what is. Just gonna extract that. Extract it. I'm gonna extract it bigger. We're gonna extract that real big. Uh, you're gonna bump this up a little bit. Extract. Boom. Accept. Where'd it go? Did it extract it? Gotta move. Gotta make these calves a lot bigger now. I also, yeah, I also wanted to do the whole chicken leg thing where they're like not really bent like regular legs. But we'll see how that goes. I'll pull this here. And make this here like that. Take this and maybe move it in here. Really no rules at this point. Just like, do I see an interesting shape? Do I like what I'm going with? And how human do I want to keep it? And I'm just going to cut it right here and turn it into a cylinder. See if I can get this centered to that. And scoop that down. Maybe I go in here and smooth this. That's stupid. I don't like that. Go away. Undo it, undo it, undo it, undo it. I thought I could go with something. Didn't like it. I'll kind of beef them out a little bit now. I do think I want this calf like extended here. And then I'm going to put a cylinder down in there though. Just kind of want this to feel Android like. I'll make it thicker here. I'll make it thicker here. Are you still masked? No, it's not. All right, let's do a quick cylinder on the back of the leg. We got like 10 minutes left, so undo, add cylinder. I thought I'd get to the feet by now, but it was not in the cards today. Maybe I get that done in 10 minutes. I don't know. I can. Okay, so I'm gonna put a cylinder in here. I'm gonna make that about that long, so it goes up into the middle of the calf. Maybe I'll angle it a bit. going to duplicate that one. I'm going to duplicate that one, and I'm going to pull it down, make it skinnier so it's a piston of some sort. So this is like one of those pieces like we're going to have to figure out, like, is this going to be a 3D printed piece? Is it going to be a solid printed piece, or is it going to be something else? I don't know yet. So boom, boom. Pull that out. Make it go like that. I like that. See how it looks from the side. I feel like that could get pulled this direction more. And I like that all right. But let's see if we can get that in a more interesting shape. I like that shape. Kind of like that shape. I like it over here, but it's I'm doing it on that side. And let's see. Let's do a quick, see if we can do a quick little robo foot. Skinny it up. What's that geometry look like? Not so bad. So I'm going to go into Z modeler, which I'm not really good at. I'm trying to get better. Going to go to edge. We're going to delete edges. Edge loop is what I want. Edge loop complete. Going to delete you. Going to delete you. Okay, see this top? Okay. Can I remesh this? All the way down. All the way down. Gonna make those even. 8 and 8. Z remesh. Half. Z remesh. Z remesh. Z remesh. I'm like kind of lost the square. We'll go to this thing and we'll go to deformer and we'll see what happens here. I don't know how to use this. I don't know why I'm trying this right now. Okay, let's get out of this. No, no on the deformer. Delete the deformer. What I was trying to do, and maybe I can just use the move tool, is trying to get the back part of the foot to connect to this thing. Keep that out like that. I want it to be hard, but I can change those pieces. Here's one I have foot, and then I wanted whatever this boot piece here is, and then I wanted another piece in front. Something along that line, and if I can get another square, if I can append a Q cube, scale it down. This is just real basic stuff right now. Make it wider. I'll come in and machine it up a little bit once I get off stream, but I'll put a piece there. I think I need to select these. Well, that's still on. Delete that. Going to go to, what we got? 4 minutes? Yeah. Didn't end real strong today, but I think I got a lot of pieces. It started, at least. The former. Here we go. And I'm going to mirror that side onto the other side. Which doesn't look right. Why is that there? Oh my goodness. Just stop. Okay. Well, there's some pieces. I'll do a couple minutes just sculpting on the face. When it comes to these things, who knows like what they'll look like when I'm done with them. I'll just show you real quick how I start something out. I might do a one of those. That's what I did on the last one. But on this one, I might actually put another eye in there like that. I like kind of continuing the form up. Figure out where my cheekbone will be, and then I'll figure out what kind of dots I'll put on it, what kind of little things. The teeth will be separate, but I got to figure out at this point, like, where the teeth are going to. If I, what do I want to have? 2 teeth, 3 teeth, 4 teeth. Where I want these other ones to come out of. I can use a snake hook tool and then remesh that. Maybe I'll just do 2, maybe more. Uh, Maybe I have ones coming out of here this time. And then that circle. We're getting close to running out of time, but I guess I could stay for just a minute. Put an alpha like this on, and when I drag this alpha out, that was on the wrong one. Drag rect that alpha. So here I can just kind of figure out where I want them, where I want those to be. something like that. Put the eyes in here. Put the eye in here. Go back and refine these later. Slow that a little bit. When I got frustrated, I should have done this just a little bit, a little while ago, so I could at least get some type of face going here, so you didn't have to look at that unfinished, weird-looking face this whole time. But you know, want to make it different enough from the other one, but still have similarities. So I feel like if I don't have an Oni face on this and I put, hey, look at this Oni that we did on stream, then maybe I'll lose the point of the whole thing. Kind of looking Green Goblin now. Went from Predator. I mean, yeah, went from Alien to Green Goblin. Well, that's what we got to. Hopefully, we'll flesh this out a lot more. I'm gonna finish the stream and then update later on tonight to see if I got any more sculpting done. Thanks for stopping by. Whoever does stop by, whoever did stop by, I appreciate the views. We'll see you next time. Thanks.